All right, hello and welcome back to Chart Request Live. If you're joining us for the first time, here's how it works. You guys bring the tickers and we chart it out for you and show you how we play it. As a reminder, this is for educational purposes only. Nothing we say here should be taken as investment advice. Anyway, we got Alfonso de Pablos on the charts today. Alf, how you doing?
Hey, Pat. Everything good? How are you?
I'm doing well, doing well. Should we get right to it? What do you think about the market? Any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, for me, the most interesting thing last week was China.
Yeah, really
Back,
stole the spotlight, didn't it?
yeah, man. I mean, we're talking about the most hated stocks in the world, catching a bid, making new highs. Um, Here I'm showing you large cap Chinese equities,
Yep.
FXI, and in the lower pane is the 1 week rate of change. So it literally had the best week ever in US dollars terms, this
Yeah.
ETF. So Chinese equities are back. That speaks to me risk-seeking behavior overall. So that's what stood out the most for me.
Yeah,
How
and
about
I
you?
think I think that's the big takeaway is like, we're seeing this happen as we're seeing the other trashiest stocks here in the US also catching a bid. So like the ARK stocks and names that have just been absolutely beaten up and haven't participated up until this point, like PayPal, um, names like that. I mean, we could go down the list, but you're seeing that happen as China, as you mentioned, the worst stocks in the world are also catching a bid. So I think it really speaks to, risk on behavior. Here we are, two of the biggest economies are easing, and it seems like the market likes it.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's what it means. And not only China, it's being Asia in general. We can see Singapore ripping higher from these lows from the summer.
Yeah, go ahead and pull
Um,
up EMXC. So this is emerging
EMXA.
markets ex China.
Yeah,
And zoom out, look at that base. I mean, so
beautiful days here.
it's
Yeah.
not just China and emerging markets, right? What is your kind of takeaway with that?
Yeah, I mean, equities in general. We have been put on the table, for example, Argentina, one of the best performing countries ETF
Yeah.
this year so far. And again, it's not only China, is Asia in general, is emerging market. Look at this ETF looking great. Look at the IFA
Yeah.
pricing against
Oh wow.
what? Like multi-decade highs last
Wow.
week.
I haven't seen that one in a while.
So we're right there, right? Digesting some gains, absorbing overhead supply at this resistance level. So for me, if this ETF breaks above 86, that's a big tailwind for equities in general. That's for sure. I
Yeah, and
mean, we
look
have
at that.
seen.
Like it already tried and failed. What is that in 2022 or 2021 there? So
Here,
here
yeah,
it is, the second chance. You got to imagine that resistance level probably a little weaker because of that rejection. So maybe it
yeah,
gets it done this.
that's for sure.
But anyway, Alf, we got a pretty full mailbag. Do you want to dive right into it?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's see what people bring today.
Awesome. Let's kick it off with MATX. That's Matheson, I think.
Yeah, this is a marine shipping company. Beautiful name, one of my favorites companies right now. That for sure. Look at this massive base. It just resolved higher. Maybe if we drop some extensions from this base from 2007 and 2009, we'll see a clear uptrend, consolidating constructively along the way. So making new all-time highs. I really like this one. Let me put a zoom in look here. Maybe we
You
can
said
just.
massive base, but it doesn't look so big in the weekly chart. But now, as you zoom in here, I see
Yeah,
what
it
you're
looks.
talking about. And
Yeah, it
that's a
looks very
pretty big
good.
base. That's like about a 2-year base. That's it's not nothing.
Yeah, like a 2-year base. It just broke out in June. Has been consolidating in a tight range above the prior cycle highs. Again, tight range. It seems that it's resolving higher. So I like this one. As long as it's about 125, that for sure.
I like it. You ready? You ready to move on?
Yeah, let's do the next one.
Straightforward. All right, this one comes from Akil. Can you look at AJG?
AJG.
Yeah. I want to know, think about long-term uptrend, but failed from recent highs near fib extension. What type of signs should I look for before entry or re-entry? I'm sorry.
Okay, that's a good question. So yeah, I mean, first of all, we have to take a look and take a step back and look at the primary uptrend here. I like to anchor these fib extensions from the COVID drawdown. Right now we're well above. We're like in the middle of the range of the 423 and 685 extension. So I think I will wait for 254 if that is the case. For a better entry, I will just wait for this former resistance area here, right here.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. So waiting for a deeper pullback, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, let's see if we get that pullback, right? If we don't have that pullback, how do you play?
To the second part of his question, what type of signs should he look for before re-entry? Would you want to see maybe like a RSI divergence or something, or as long as it hits that level and maintains it, you're good?
Yeah, I mean, one positive aspect here is that momentum is not getting oversold. We are seeing like a 9% correction, 8% correction. It hasn't hit oversold conditions. So that's for me a positive sign.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, for me, this chart is kind of messy for an entry standpoint. I like to buy strength, but I know, I mean, you will have to wait for 300. That's
right to buy the breakout. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So
you might be waiting a while. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I mean, if you want to try this little range and wait for a resolution about 283, I mean, you can do it. Not a high probability setup for sure, but I think that in that way you can do it. Do you have any other idea? Any suggestion? How do you do it, Pat?
No, I mean, to your point, I think seeing an oversold reading would definitely be a little bit of a red flag for me. I ideally on a long entry, I'd like to see it not get oversold, right? So that's something I'd probably watch for. And real quick, Wavy, I see you pointed out that we are mixing it up and we're doing it on Monday today. Going forward, we will be doing the show on Mondays and Thursdays. Just worked out scheduling a little bit better for us. So make sure you join us on Mondays from now on. But you ready to move on, Elf?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. This one comes from Kit. It's BEKE. BEKE.
This is from China, right? Yeah. Yeah, look at this.
I haven't heard of it.
Yeah, I mean this. Yeah, I really love this one. We don't even need like like an extension or anything like that. I mean, we're right there, right? I mean, this is the level. This shows a former high from February 2023, September 2023. Early this year. I think this is definitely the level that we should be looking right now for this company. I think 22. I think you can define risk at 22. It's in a base building process. I mean, this company I mean, had like a 90% drawdown. The bigger the collapse, the longer it needs to repair this damage.
Yeah.
This is the case. These rounding bottom formations are processed. They don't happen overnight. So right now we're seeing price pressing against the upper bound of this reversal base. So I will wait for a decisive breakout. I like to define risk at this shelf former highs. So for me, it's about 22 and 25. That for sure. I mean, momentum is getting overbought. Buyers are getting more aggressively, and China is back in the game. That's the reality.
Yeah. And you know, I think 22 is probably good enough for confirmation on this one. So, you know, not too bad.
Yeah, you have to be careful with this gap. If you see this gap filled, it will mean messy for longer. That's for sure. So
yeah,
I'm watching this gap. Yeah.
Yeah. And actually, speaking of gaps, if you look all the way over to like July 2021, there's a downside gap that would probably be a good target. Yeah.
Yeah, right here, right? Like,
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, like around 36. Yeah.
I like that it kind of coincides with those IPO lows there.
Yeah, it will make sense. What I'm doing right now, it's trying to, it match off the retracement level from this massive decline. So I think 34, 35, 36, this IPO level, this gap from the summer of 2021 will make sense for potential target.
I like it. Very straightforward. So I want to hit two more in the mailbag, and then we will get to the lovely people in the chat. So be sure to drop them in the chat. Let's move on to AUR. This one's from Jonathan. Says it looks like it can easily get to the $10 IPO price. What do you think?
Oh, nice. I mean, it's a very similar scenario here. We got a 90% drawdown. It has been in a base building process. This is a classic accumulation pattern. It takes time. It's right now shifting from lower here to sideways and the base building process, and now it's resolving higher. What I like to do is always try to draw some retracement just to see if it matched some critical levels. In this case, it's not matching any critical level. But so for me, I mean, you have here a potential resistance from this peak from April 2022, but you also have this
very well defined
key level of interest around what, like 490 or 5, around this area. So
and then maybe just play it back to that $10 IPO price that Jonathan mentioned, right?
Yeah, I mean,
It looks like this one was a SPAC, I'm guessing, right? Because a lot of the SPACs, they just kind of flatline at $10, and then all of a sudden they got this crazy price action.
And you will notice a similar price action. SPAC, rip higher, and collapse. That happened a lot in the past recent years. So, I mean, you have two ways to play this, in my opinion. Maybe you have to wait for confirmation about this pivot high. I will say this pivot high from 2022 around what, 660, or you can wait for a pullback to these former highs from last year and July of this year at around 490. But definitely the trend reversal is in, that for sure. And let me see.
That base building process, right?
I mean, it's a technology company, $9 billion company, so it has a lot of potential. It can easily double from here. I wouldn't be surprised to see 10 in the future. I mean, if technology and this bull market continues, that's for sure. That's for sure. I think we could see the 10.
I always like to enter on strength too, but with this one, I think I probably would wait for it to pull back to that 450 level, was it? And then
for 99 level.
Yeah, and then kind of stabilize and show that there's actually support there. I think I'd rather do that, but hey, there's totally a chance that it just rips right through this level here. In which case, that's also a viable breakout.
Yeah, that's for sure. Right now, it's pulling back at this area, so it's like in the middle of this level of interest. So,
it just does look like it did poke its head above that level, and then here we are kind of falling back below it. So you might actually get that pullback, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're getting that pullback right now. Let's see if it's just to this firmer resistance, or it's just like the tight consolidation absorbing overhead supply at these resistance levels of around 6.5, and then we break out. So yeah, let's see. I will put my alerts at 670 and at 490, and yeah, just wait to see what price does.
I like it. Let's move on to EXP, and this is a 6-month time frame.
This one, Eagle Materials.
EXP. Yeah, is that what it is? Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, let me zoom in here. From what I see from this chart is that you can play like this base.
Mm-hmm.
It is a smaller base. It's like at your today base. I don't know. Maybe. I think you can define a risk very, very good.
Smaller base, but it's still like 6 months. I mean,
yeah, it's a 6 months base. We recently broke out. It's this is like a flag pattern from here, consolidating above this resistance level. Now
it doesn't even look like it wants to retouch that level. It looks like it's kind of hovering right above.
Yeah,
it's good, right? That's bullish.
It's just yeah, exactly. It's very bullish. I mean, this is like a pennant or like a flag, depending how you want to draw it, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, look momentum getting overbought in multiple times in the past few months, and yeah, I like to trade these consolidations. Let me see.
I mean, I even see a head and shoulders there. Not that it really matters. I mean, a base is a base, but this one just structurally looks really good.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, you can play it. You can trade this short-term base, and let's see if it works and if it fits. Yeah, this fib extension right here. I also like it for a longer term perspective. This is we are right at the 261 extension from this base from 2021, 2022 decline. And I mean, in this particular case, we have seen these extensions and these levels be respected by price. For example, see here, similar consolidation, similar flag pattern. We ripped through this extension level. We hit the 261. We pull it back. This potential area of resistance at this moment now turn it into support. Price rebound here, and now we are above this 278, 275 I mentioned before. So it's a good way to trade this one, in my opinion.
I like it, and it's really right there. I mean, this one is actually pretty actionable here today.
Yeah, of course.
But let's move on to Kinder Morgan, KMI, and this one's in the chat, so we're on to the chat now.
Let's take a look. I like it. I love
Yeah,
this base.
I'm
I
glad
love
you
it.
zoomed all the way out because you really have to on this one.
I love it. Let me see. Yeah, I mean this is a weekly chart. You can see it better now. I mean, what I see here is that, yeah, key level.
I like that you do that. You have the diagonal trend line, the horizontal.
Yeah, I like the diagonal trend lines where they are not where they are almost like flat. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Um, yeah,
In this
no,
particular
exactly what you mean. And
case,
that gives you a level to confirm against, right? So like the first trend line break that wakes you up, that says, okay, there's a potential breakout, and then the actual horizontal level, once you reach that, that's the real breakout, right?
yeah, that's right. I mean, in this case, we have like a confluence of resistance, not only because of this diagonal trend line, but if we draw a resistance level here at this 2016 peaks and the 2020 peaks, we have that resistance there. I mean, it's very clear. About 23, we will have, in my opinion, a confirmation of this trend reversal is valid. So it's very simple. I like these charts when you can define at what point a trend is confirmed and at what point you will be wrong if that trend is confirmed at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, I like it. So let's move on to Bill in the chat wants to see either Oxy or Google, whichever one you want to do.
Yeah, let's take a look at Oxy first. I mean,
Oxy.
Energy in general has done like nothing for the past couple of years.
I know it every time it looks like it's gonna break down, it saves the day and bounces, and then every time it looks like it breaks out, it can't do it. Energy's been
super
really
frustrating. This range bound market for energy. I mean, crude oil, it's right there too.
Yeah, I think if there's one thing I'm bad at charting, and I think you got to know your weaknesses, and if there's one thing I'm bad at charting, it's
okay. I mean, yeah, look, for me, it's the 64 level for crude oil. It looks like a massive top information, right? But as we have mentioned before, and I know Strauss have mentioned before, this has been the year of failed tops. So let's say, I mean, right now we're above this super level. I give the bull the benefit of that for sure. But back to the Oxy chart. Yeah, I like to zoom out a little bit and mark the 2018 highs as a pick here, I think.
And you know, Alf, I always call this one the laziest coattail investing trade out there, because most of the people were buying this one last year for the fact that Buffett was basically acting like support. I mean, he really was acting like support. Every time it dipped to, I think it was 55 or 57, right? He would come in and buy. And all of a sudden, Uncle Warren's not there. He's not showing up, and the thing's below 55. So anybody who thought it was going to be that easy to just buy that, and you know, they're learning the hard way here.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that an insider, I mean, in this case Warren Buffett, but the fact that an insider or we see insider activity in a name, that doesn't mean we have to buy it with them, right?
Yeah, and I think it's a good time to remember Warren Buffett always touts his forever holding period, right? Like who knows how long his time frame is here. So for traders buying this, looking for a quick rip, maybe you get it, maybe you get a couple points, but you know, every time he did step in and buy, created a lower high, so kind of a less enthusiastic reaction every time.
Yeah, I remember. I mean, we have been following this transaction from Warren Buffett for the past 2 years. He bought it first in March 2022, and he made multiple transactions. I have counted like 28 or 29 in the past 2 years. Always buying below 60, but above like 50, 55, 56 level.
Right. Between that 55 and 60 level.
Yeah, exactly. That coincide with this support zone. So the fact that it's breaking down and we haven't seen any like participation on from Warren Buffett, I don't know. It makes me think. It makes me think about energy right now.
I do think it would be ironic, and sometimes usually the ironic answer or outcome is usually what ends up playing out. But it'd be really funny if this thing finally started working once they shake everyone out, right?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, right. So
I wouldn't be surprised, man. Honestly. So.
And we've seen that a lot of the times with range-bound action, right? Like Apple, for example. Was stuck in that range, and then it finally pierced through, reclaimed it. It was a false breakdown, and that got it through the upper end of the range. So you could see a similar scenario here.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see that. But of course, for me, energy has plenty of work to do. That's for sure. Oxy, it must reclaim 57 or 58 to put it back in the game. As long as it's below this level, is a no touch for me. So I will wait for a confirmation about 58 and see what happens.
Yeah, a lot of the energy trends are just very messy right now. It's really tough.
Yeah, it's messy. I mean, it's very frustrating for traders and investors.
Let's check out Otis with one big stick today, apparently.
Which one?
Otis, OTIS. Ooh, wow. So really last week's candle, I think.
This one?
Yeah, Otis, OTIS. Yeah, you got it.
Wow, I like this one.
Yeah, that's a really nice one.
Wow, it's acting like a Chinese company. Is it or no?
No, I think they're an elevator company or something.
Oh, okay. I mean, 41 billion specialty in
escalators.
Wow.
Check out the weekly though. Check out the stick on the weekly that he's talking about.
Let me see. I mean, monster week. Beautiful base. What can I say? I mean, industrial has been acting very, very strong lately, making new all-time highs. So,
Alfonso, this was I think it's the second best week ever for the stock last week.
Yeah, let me take a quick look at this.
Third best week. Third best week.
I think
2020. I don't think they have anything to do with China, though. I mean, they're headquartered in Farmington, Connecticut.
But that breakout it was very similar to China from last week.
Yeah.
That week, I mean, the weekly candle, it's like a decisive breakout here.
Yeah, and what's interesting is this wasn't like a junky stock. Yes, it went public in 2020. But this is one of those public issues that just went straight up, actually. Rare.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point. I mean, in March 2020. That's interesting.
Yeah. March 2020 of all, probably the scariest time to go public. I don't know if they planned that before the pandemic or what, but.
But they are doing great. So that's for sure. But I mean, you have this massive base breakout here. We broke out in February or March of this year. The stock has been consolidated in a tight range, in my opinion, holding above the prior cycle highs. And this candle was like needed, to confirm the new uptrend, right?
Oh, okay. So in the chat, Stan here is saying Otis does a lot of business in China. Okay.
I mean,
but elevators in Chinese buildings. Okay, Makes sense.
That's good to know. I mean, yeah,
Yeah, that makes
makes
sense.
sense.
Yeah, but they would catch a bid last week. Um, all right, let's do a couple more and then we'll wrap it up. Let's do CARR, CARR.
Wow, I mean, yeah,
And
very
then
similar.
Dan here, he pointed out a nice bull golfer, a bullish engulfing candle in BNL. So let's take a look at that one after. But
Yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, it looks similar to the previous one. It came
yeah,
public
very similar actually. Yeah.
in March 2020 with higher consolidating for what 3 years. It recently broke out of this massive base.
Oh, this is Carrier. Yeah.
Yeah,
Carrier used to be headquartered right here in Syracuse, New York, where I grew up. But they're also, same theme, fitting in that industrial kind of
super
build
strong. I
products.
mean,
Yeah.
super strong. I would like to. Well, let me finish this, and then I will overlay Otis with Car because they look exactly the same.
Good
This
plan.
is a good
Man,
example of.
these like unknown industrial stocks, I keep seeing them. I've never heard of them, and then you check them out, and they've been working out fantastic.
They are the best, man. They are going up.
Yeah. So what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I really like it. Base, we broke out in April, consolidated. We continue to rip higher. I think you can define risk around the 116 extension around 75. The path of this resistance is higher. Let's see the relative trend. It's looking good. It's breaking out on a relative basis to new all-time highs. A strong company, a strong sector. I like it. I like it.
You like it?
Yeah, probably my
All right,
favorite from today.
Yeah. Let's do one more, and then we got to wrap it up here.
Yeah,
Let's see. Which one did I say we end with? BNL. Let's end with that one.
This one.
BNL. Let me see. Yeah, I believe that's it.
Rosenitlis, right?
Broadstone Net Lease?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, let's take a quick look. The first thing I noticed, prices back, well, above the big one from the all-time high. So buyers are now in control for the first time since it peaked in 2021. It resolved higher from this reversal base, and again, more reversal bases resolving higher. A new uptrend is underway on this one. I think you can define risk of about 18, as long as it's about 18.
And hey, I don't know if you showed it, but zoom in on today's candle there.
Like engulfing.
Yeah. I mean, as Dan's pointing out here, I mean that's engulfing like 8 days worth of price action.
Yeah, I mean,
pretty
I love it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love also this range. So if this engulfing candle is the catalyst to break out in the following days, I mean, welcome, right?
Yeah, very well defined. Very well defined.
So yeah, I really like this one. A new uptrend is underway for sure.
And as far as targets?
About targets, I like to use well, we are right here on this one, but I think for me the key level is around 18. Yep. So I will go to 22.5 around these peaks from 2022. That's what I have.
2250. Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, because you had two really clear rejections off that back in what, 2022?
Yeah, in 2022.
Yeah, that's the level. All right. Well, I'm sorry if we did not get to your ticker request today, but be sure to email us at questions@stockmarketmedia.com, and we'll be sure to get to it before the mail or before the tickers in the chat next on Thursday. So thank you guys again. My name is Patrick Donawilla. I'm the editor of the chart report. Alfonso de Pablos. Alf.
Thank you, guys.
Cheers.